ignorant. You can call me anything you want, but I'm here representing Roddy Bryan, and I'm going to defend my client to the best of my ability, and I don't really care whether the people in the cheap seats like it or not.
Joining me now, Alexis Hoag, Assistant Professor of Law at Brooklyn Law School, and Charles F. Coleman Jr., Civil Rights Attorney and former New York prosecutor. Professor, is the defense counsel right? Would any attorney do what he did, which was try to get black pastors thrown out of the courtroom?
I think we're in the cheap seats.
Yeah, we're commenting from the cheap seats.
Exactly. There are actually model rules of professional conduct that say that you cannot engage in racial discrimination. And so this idea that somehow he is zealously representing his client by saying that black pastors shouldn't be in the courtroom is not any credence that I adhere to as a defense attorney. And I wholeheartedly do not agree with that. And what Chris mentioned last night about this idea of a public right, trials, and this is part of the Anglo-American tradition of a judicial system, need to be public. There is a fundamental problem when we have secret trials, so the public, black pastors included, have a right to physically be inside of a courtroom.
Your view?
Well, what we have been talking about with regard to Kevin Goff and his antics was completely confirmed. He is not concerned with anything other than trying to speak to that jury, but it's also confirming to me that he believes that on some level, his antics are going to resonate with that jury, whether that's something getting back to the jury in terms of being leaked, in terms of just the overall environment, this circus of an environment that he has created with his remarks around black pastors. He has banked on, in terms of his client's freedom, that something with what he is trying to do is going to resonate with that jury. And he confirmed it last night, because what he said was, I'm not concerned with anybody else besides trying to get my client a fair trial and get him off. And so he believes it's going to be effective.
You know, one thing that Mark Romero told us is that he thinks the prosecution might be seeing the same thing in the jury, because the prosecutor has consistently made some choices not to make this as much about race.
Exactly. And what you have here is a 12-member jury with 11 white people and 1 black man. And my understanding is that in Glenn County, the community is approximately 27% black. Mm-hmm. And so you have already a jury pool that the jurors were drawn from that was underrepresented. And then once you had jury selection, you even had the judge admit that he believed the defense was engaged in intentional racial discrimination, but he was going to allow the jury to be seated. And so you have the prosecution, which is from Cobb County, another area of Georgia, that sees the 12 people before them. And they're trying to think, what kind of case can I put on? And they actually avoided discussing race until closing arguments. So they didn't put on any evidence. They didn't make any characterization about the fact that the defendants viewed Ahmaud as inherently dangerous and inherently criminal, even though that clearly isn't a case that the prosecution made.
You know, John, from the outset of this trial, I was the one who said that race was the 13th juror in this case. And it was I actually had the conversation with Mark last night, and I was the one who made the point that I feel like it's the prosecution who has said, well, wait a minute, maybe we don't want to push on this issue because it could offend some of the jurors, while the defense is going full throttle in terms of pressing the gas and not shying away from it. That says a lot about the demographic that we're talking about. It says a lot about our national discourse on race. And it may say a lot about how this trial plays out. That remains to be seen. But it is a very interesting thing to observe that the prosecution has really tried to walk a tightrope while invoking themes around white privilege, white entitlement with regard to their summation and their rebuttal. But they haven't actually gone all the way in terms of talking about race.
I got to let you go. Your least favorite question, one-word answer, verdict today?
Ooh.